Alright guys, we are back for more of my 26th birthday special. We just played some Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii, and that was a whole lot of fun. So, for our next segment, we are going to be playing Sonic Rider Zero Gravity for the Nintendo Wii. So let's see what happens on this game. Alright, let's go ahead and choose my file. Alright, let's go to game start. Alright, let's go to normal race and we'll just do some free races. Alright, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and start things off at Megalo Station. We'll play a Sonic course, and we'll use some different extreme gears in each race throughout the segment. So anyways, we're going to start things off nice and simple with the blue star. Alright, let's go! Alright, good thing I slowed it down a little bit right there. Even though it wasn't a perfect start, it's still good enough as it is. Alright, got an X-ray trick to start off. We're already in the grass. Alright, let's burn out that gravity dive. I got the back speed up. Alright, lap 2. Alright, let's get ready to bring out another gravity dive. Alright, looks like we got GP gauge up now. Alright, final lap. Oh boy, we're in the grass again. Oh, special move, let's go! Take that, suckers! Alright, now let's use another gravity dive. Now we get the collar trap. Oh well. I can still see perfectly fine though, so it's not all that bad. So it looks like that robot guy came in first, and we got the grind right there, even though it's a little late for that since we are right at the end of the race. Alright, we're going to start off in third place right there after the first race, so it's not too bad. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what happens down the next race. And now it's time to go to Nightside Rush. I'll use the fastest for this one.
Alright, bring it on!
Alright, let's do this. I got a pretty good start right there. And we get an X-ray track. Alright, let's bring out that gravity dive here. How did I miss the item? That was ridiculous. Okay, there's a magnetic barrier. Alright, let's head to lap 2. And we got the grind. Alright, let's hop on this rail.
See ya!
I got 20 rings right there. I'll come back here, Silver. Thank you. Oh, what the? How did he pass me again so fast? Alright, follow up. Alright, we're gonna get 10 rings there. There's a max speed up. I'll use it after I get through this turn right here. Alright, 10 rings. Okay, 20 rings. Doesn't look like we're going to catch up to Silver in time for the win, as he's going to get first place. But I'll still sell it for second, though. Alright, anyways. Time to move on to the next race. Alright, now we're going to move on to the Botanical Kingdom. And, I'm going to use the Wind Star this time.
Alright, bring it on!
Alright, let's see what happens here. Alright, not a bad start.
See ya!
There's that X-ray trick. And we also get 10 rings. I just missed out on that item. Oh well. I got an air ride. Alright, 50 GP there. I couldn't quite make it through those rings right there, but that's okay. Alright, let's bring out the gravity dive here now. Alright, let's go to lap 2. Alright, 50 GP right there. Alright, let's go and fly through these rings now. Yeah, baby! We got a special move! Alright, let's get ready to use another gravity dive here. Alright, time to see what happens on the final lap. Alright, we're gonna get 20 rings, and there's a max speed up. Alright, let's fly through these rings again. I got a magnetic barrier. Alright, let's speed our way to the finish line with this gravity dive. And we gotta win first place this time! How about that? Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next race now. Alright, now it's time to go to the Snowy Kingdom. And this time I'm going to use the Roadstar.
Alright, bring it on!
Alright, let's do it. Alright, another good start. There's an X-ray trick already. I'll certainly take it. And there's a special move! That's awesome. Alright, let's go hit some snowmen now with the gravity dive right here. Alright, now on to lap 2. Alright, there's the bike. Oh, I almost had that shortcut right there. That would have been very nice if I went through that. Oh well. Alright, at least we got a bomb. Oh shoot! I did not mean to jump too early there. That was my fault. Alright, we got a starting speed up now. Oh, and our special move right here. I'll take that. Alright, let's go ahead and hit some more snowmen out here with the gravity dive. And now it's on to the final lap. And this time we will make the shortcut work right there. Alright, I'll take some additional speed. Alright, there's 20 rings. Oh, looks like that robot guy has a special move, and Dr. Eggman came in first. There was nothing we could do to try to catch up in time. Alright, let's see where we end up in this race. 5th place. Alright, at least it wasn't all that bad of a performance right there, despite a little mistake I made in the middle of the second lap. Alright, well, let's see what the next race will have in store for us. Alright, on to Biotech Premises. And for my next extreme gear that I'm going to use, let's use the Shinobi skates. Alright, here we go. Oh, we have a little bit of a bad start there. Oh, wow. At least the nice thing is with the skates right here is that we can grind on the rails with them. Uh-oh. Wow, that wasn't good. Alright, I'll take 30 rings. And there's the ghost! Alright, now nobody can see where I am on the map. Alright, let's use a gravity dive here. Alright, time to go to lap 2. Oh no, not again. 20 rings. Alright, let's bring out another gravity dive right here. Alright, now we got the auto wall run. Alright, we're heading into the final lap now. I'm glad I was able to get through that just fine this time. Magnetic barrier. Alright, let's try to pick up some speed here with this gravity dive. And Dr. Eggman came in first again. Well, that sucks for us, but at least we ended up in third this time, which is still a pretty good performance. Alright, let's continue on to the next race. Alright, let's move on to MediaTek Sparkworks. And this time, I'll use the reserve tank.
Alright, bring it on!
Alright, let's go. Alright, that's a pretty good start.
See ya!
Oh, already we get the low speed. That is not cool. Alright, we do have one of our tanks, right? We want to make sure we use them at perfect moments here, because this is the only way that we can gain GP with this extreme gear. Alright, I'll use a tank right here. Alright, time to go ahead and bring out the gravity dive here. I couldn't quite make it up to the top right there, but that's alright. Alright, we're heading into lap 2 now. Oh boy, now we get the collar trap. I've got our next tank ready here. Alright, let's go ahead and use another tank right there. Oh, how did I fail that trick right there? That was stupid. Alright, now we have our last tank ready, but definitely not a good time to use that right now. But anyways, let's go ahead and use the gravity dive right here again. Alright, final lap. Okay, just barely made it through that turn right there. While I was low on GP. Alright, anyways, let's use our last tank here. And again, I failed the trick move there. Unbelievable. Alright, we're gonna get magnetic barrier. Alright, let's bring out that gravity dive here once again as we make our way to the finish line. And that is going to be a win in first place! That is what I'm talking about. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what happens now in our next race. And now it's time to go to the aquatic capital. And this time, I'm going to use the Omni Tempest. Alright, here we go. Yeah, baby! There's that X-ray trick. I got 10 rings there, and there's the grind. Alright, let's get ready to go down the water slide. There's definitely a part about this track right here that I really do like a lot right here. Yeah, who doesn't love going down a water slide like this? I've got an air ride now. Alright, lap 2. I got 10 rings there. Alright, we have the bike. Let's go and bring that out right here so we can go through this shortcut. Alright, let's go and use our gravity dive. Alright, time to see what happens on the final lap. Oh, I missed the item right there. Gosh dang it. Alright, let's go for the shortcut again. Alright, 20 rings. Alright, let's bring out that gravity dive here again. Alright, there's 20 rings. And Shell's gonna pull away and get the win right there in first place. Nothing much we can do about it, but it's alright. I'll still settle for third. And my buddy Tails finished far behind the pack right there. That's unfortunate for him. Alright, now let's move on to the next race as we get ready to go to the Tempest Waterway. And, let's see, what would I like to use next? Let's go with the wind catcher.
Alright, bring it on!
Alright, let's do this. I got a pretty good start there. Ah, dang, I was too late on that jump. But at least we get to fly through these rings. Alright, there's the first of our GP gauge ups right there. I got an X-ray trick as well. Ah, shoot. I missed the path I was trying to take right there, but that's alright. Alright, let's go down this water slide now. And we're going to go ahead and bring out a gravity dive here. Alright, time to go to lap 2. Alright, slide through these rings again. I got our GP gauge up. Alright, there's the one of our rings. And we got the last of our GP gauge ups ready.